Let's try that. Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, everyone, welcome to the Jankyard. I'm your host, The Treatment. And we've got ourselves a good game tonight between the legendary rookie Fred and the even more legendary swordsman and soulfire rushman ebfritz. We are. Oh, Corey, is it still quiet? I think I'm like almost redlining. Should be not that quiet. We are streaming today for the finals of June 2025, and yeah, it's exciting because I have not had basically any games streamed this year. There's been a dearth of tournaments. AIL is currently going on, but we're only in the Swiss stage, so there's no action to really show. But once we get to the playoffs and the finals, then I will be here for you guys. Let me know what's popping in the chat. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger for everyone to see. And the two players are off. Okay, so we've got Fred on his Rin Frostfire deck. We've seen it a few times. I believe he did really well in the collection with it, or one of the previous tournaments. And this is interesting. ebfritz is not on James' list, but he is on an Aerodel with 4 sympathy, 3 divine, 2 nature, and 1 illusion, which I'd have to guess is a gates open. I'm guessing it's something like Cerulean, Lightbringer, maybe a rejuvenate, and I don't know. Could be anything. Sally, and then you've got Aradel's Water Blast. But very cool to see. And yeah, my mother-in-law is in chat, which is always exciting. Let me see who else is in here. So we've got Fred in chat. We've got Shadow in chat. All right. We'll see if anyone else hops in. So kicking off, and Fred, let's see. Fred's picking his first 5. We have no idea on who's going first yet. But it is cool to see Aerodel in a finals. We have not seen Aerodel in a long time, I want to say. She's not been overly popular, but you know, some people still think she's pretty good, and obviously Fritz has taken her to the finals, so we shall see how it works out. I have no idea what his deck looks like, but we can see the Cerulean as I expected. I definitely think it's got to be a Gates open. And Fred is going to probably have his Adaptodon, maybe a Turtle Guard, Ruin Dweller. I don't know. And then he tends to like either a Hammer Knight and Shattering Fist type of open. But I'm curious what he ends up going with if he doesn't expect a big knight to come down. Oh, okay. So it's not a Gates, it's a Shade Prowler. Okay. Interesting. I wonder, so then it's got to be a Rejuvenate Prowler, right? So we've got Diver, Prowler, that's 3. Water Blast is 4. Oh, Emperor Lion is 7. Okay. Then what? Lightbringer? No, that's not going to be enough. Sonic? We'll see. Definitely not what I expected. Cool. So, yeah. And there's the Dweller on Fred's side, both playing pretty fast. These guys know their decks well. I don't think we'll get anywhere near the 30-minute timers on either side. Although Aerodel can and has in past games played more of a control style deck. I don't know if that's EB's tendency. I think he likes a little bit more aggression. And Fred tends to be more in the control spot. So we'll see how that plays out. The Diver, of course, is the current hotness. Since we haven't really seen, any stream games lately, Diver is just, it came on the scene and has stuck around. It is a lot of value. Being able to get the ping focus 1 is always great, but also just having a nice sympathy unit that you can use to draw some cards. There's the Rejuvenate. Okay, so called that, but it's an early pass. Fred passed. Fritz played the Rejuvenate, and we're going into next round. I think Fritz is really happy with that. That is a really, to be able to get all 4 books down and get out scot free with the taxes. That is very nice. He doesn't get any tokens, but um, Oh, sorry, Rejuvenate doesn't have the tax. Never mind. But anyway, getting your 4 books down and then getting free passes is pretty good. We've got an ice buffed dweller. Okay, that's pretty cool. And he drew. Wow, Fritz drew the 2nd book in his round 2 draw. That is very nice for him. That is going to help him take a little bit more control on the board as things come out. We still don't know what Fred is playing, if he's playing a 3rd and or 4th book, but he's just going to take the early quick damage for 3. Might as well not waste it. And the ice buff now is there for what I assume will be a Shattering Fist, but it also just puts a constant end of round threat for Fritz to take care of. All right, so we've got Glory coming down, one of the staples again since Red Rain's Divine came out. Classic play for that, and then the Light Swordsman, and then the Lion, in theory, would take up the other 2 Divine. So we've got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 without the Rejuvenate. So he could play his whole board for 9 if he wanted to. Of course, we don't know what options he has in hand. So there you go. Off to a very good, solid start. Nothing too crazy, but good options. Bring up the discard once they start becoming a little bit more relevant. Fred's only got a Fire Archer in there. He's got some burn to finish the game. I don't know if he has 1 or 2. I can't remember if there's any Final Cries, but he does have a lot of options. So Donnie coming down, and it's going to probably be a Fire adaptation, ping away the Glory, and it will sit there. The Light Swordsman, of course, can then swing in and threaten the Adaptodon, which will take the guard, I'm assuming. Okay, so he opts instead, which actually, that's a nice play. He opts instead to play the Ice Adaptation, which still takes Glory out of, the equation for now, but it allows him to tank a Light Swordsman hit. That's a nice play. You don't see Fred, or in general, most people play Ice Adaptation all that much. Of course, it is now threatened by Shade Prowler, which is, I think, going to be very good in this matchup. It will be able to do quite a bit, but I'm assuming that Shattering Fist is going to come down and just take care of this Prowler right away. Got now 1 token on Rejuvenate. We still don't know if Fred has any other books, but he's got a whole mitt full of cards. There we go. Shattering Fist. Bada boom. And it's gone. Nothing to protect. No Angelic Rescue, and there's, what? Absorption, I guess, would have been the only other option there. So just Fred passing, trying to establish his board control. He's ahead on board. He's ahead on dice. He is ahead on damage. So he has nothing to really worry about, nothing to rush. And the Dweller's still out there to threaten another damage. Airedale is going to blast the Donnie. Oh, reaction. Fate Reflection. All right. So it won't be a turtle coming out. Still possibly a Hammer Knight and Ice Trap, I guess. Or could be Ping Fester. That's another option. But that was probably what he first fived, the Fate Reflection, just for the matchup specifically, knowing the Water Blast was a danger to both his Dweller and his Dino. Still, I think as Fritz, you're probably okay with that because now you're not too worried. I mean, Ping Fester would still be awful here, but you know, otherwise you have to take that chance. You have to. He's probably first five the Sonic Swordsman, trying to get it out of his hand, maybe get some more options. He still has 2 pings worth from the diver. Of course, the Adaptodon, because the Shattering Fist took away the adaptation, he can still adapt again. Um, so yeah, and we know that Emperor Lion is not coming out this round. Okay, well, it was a Fester. Fire adaptation, Fester, woof. Here we go. Light Swordsman into Adaptodon. We'll take the guard. And then there's probably going to have to be a counter guard. The Cerulean Divers will clean up the Donnie, at least on entering. But there's a lot for Fred to do. He's got Frog Pings. He's got everything. Clears off the Light Swordsman. Diver coming down. Boop. There goes 1 damage. You can threaten it again unless Fred chooses to Frog Ping, which he does. All right. Just keeps forcing that end of round. He does not have a Frog Ping now, though, so curious to see what he has. Meditates up for the Frog Ping, though, so now is the time for Fritz to at least get 1 damage in the game. He will have top of round, which is nice, so that is an option, but he's just passing. He wants to keep the diver alive. He doesn't really care about the draw or the damage. So things are pretty good for Fred right now. He's got 6 damage done to Airedale. He's got a Dweller still sitting pretty. He has used, several bits of removal so far. Pull up Fritz's discard as well. Moon Blessing. Very cool. All right, Clashing Tempers, another classic. Turtle Guard is in the bin. All right. So he's not playing guard. He doesn't really care. He's not worried about it. Twilight Alchemist comes down. Another great card, especially in Rowan. Almost got stomped this morning with Twilight Rowan deck. Very cool. Gives him more options to hopefully address this very beefy snake. 3/3 is very nice with the constant threat of Shattering Fist and the ability, of course, to buff it even more. I'm assuming we're going to see an Adaptodon come down. I'm curious whether it's an ice adaptation or a fire adaptation. The Prowler, unless Fritz has any protection, is always at threat here, which is very tricky. Fred meditates, another Fester. Okay, so, not many people run 3 Festers. That's always good to see. And, of course, he loses his favorite card, Clashing Tempers, but he's got at least a couple of those. There is another book, Frost Frog. Okay, so he is potentially only on a 2-book game here. I don't think there's anything else. I don't know if he has any other book that he would play. I don't think so. So he's playing a little bit more aggressive now, playing down a Hammer Knight. He's got Frog Pings, so he's threatening quite a bit of damage. He's really just trying to race EB. EB's got, a Rejuvenate with 3 tokens, but it's not doing much. I'm curious to see whether or not the Emperor Lion comes down at any point. He hasn't played it yet, and it's already round 3. I feel like you lose a little bit of value. Reverberate is in the bin. Clashing Tempers in the bin. So that's potentially all the Clashing Tempers on a thin spread like this. Reverberate, you don't care too much if you see one of those in, because then it buffs up the other ones. But he's going to just simply play a Diver and put a ping down on Hammer Knight. Interesting. Curious what he what he has. I mean, most of his removal is side action, things like Water Blast, Fork Lightning, Reverberate. Those are all side action. He could have a Crescendo, so if Fred doesn't swing, then he gets popped twice, or he's gonna trade and then Water Blast clears out. But Fred does have a turtle up, and a turtle could mean Fate Reflection. It'd be very interesting to see if he opts for a wolf down and loses on the ability to play Shade Prowler this round, but you could also just play Emperor Lion um, and then get 2 swings in because of Rejuvenate. You'd be able to easily do that. Yeah, this should be interesting. Swinging Alchemist at Dweller. Okay. Nature's Wrath. Nope. He's going to use Water Blast on the Dweller, clears it. Fred either was very fast on the bluff timer, or he does not have a Fate Reflection. Yeah. What's going on, guys? Anything? Anything new? Anything fresh? At least up here in Canada, elementary school is out for summer. So summer is officially started for us. It's been pretty hot. Had a couple days in the 40 degrees Celsius. That's like, what, 110 Fahrenheit. And then today and yesterday, chilly days. So, yeah, nice little balance there. All right, we have got Fred in the tank. He's going to play another Dweller, and Ice buffs it. Curious why he has not yet played the Emperor line. I'm curious to see what Fritz is ahead on dice, but way behind on board and life. Light Swordsman coming out, swinging, probably going to pull guard. Oh! Crescendo? Yeah! Alright, because he knew that Fate Reflection was no longer a threat. Okay, so he did have Crescendo for that previous play, but he didn't get a chance to do it. Fred will guard the Light Swordsman, and he'll still have Adaptodon to clean up this Light Swordsman. So that was pretty cool. That was good. That was actually really good for Fritz. Sort of stabilizes a little bit, and the Emperor Lion, now that the guard is down, should be able to threaten or kill straight up the Adaptodon, as well as Shade Prowler. Unless Fred meditates the time die to bluff a Fate Reflection. Although it's kind of unlikely now that so many opportunities have passed. He's not really worried about that. So what could he have? He could have Crypt Guardian and still be able to play that with Donnie. He could just do Frog Ping and Old Salt. That's another option. Probably has a bunch of Old Salts in the deck, so that would be one way of taking care of like the Diver and threatening the Emperor Lion. Fritz still has his guard though, and he's got a lot of dice. He's got just enough actually to play the Lion and the Prowler. All right. Oh, Reverb! All right, Reverb comes down for 2, immediately kills the Adaptodon, and down comes the Lion. He's got 1 die left. It's either a Frog Ping or a Rejuvenate. The Hammer Knight's going to die. Fred will take 1 overkill damage. But that might be it. If it is a Crypt Guardian, I guess it still doesn't matter because Rejuvenate allows him to punch twice and his guard's down. Very cool. Yeah, Fritz has done a very good job stabilizing. He's really gone through some cards, through a lot of options. There, okay, so it was an Old Salt, but yeah, he's done a good job. So now we've got Emperor Lion killing the Hammer Knight for 1 overkill. Old Salt will pull guard, so Fritz will go down to 8, and then a Rejuvenate and kill the Old Salt uh, is what I'm assuming is going to come down. And then maybe Fred has, I don't know, he could have a Raptor Herder. Maybe he just uses the Frog Ping. Yeah, he just uses the Frog Ping. There we go. Fred takes another damage. This is very cool. So things started very strong for Fred, but that was a very good round. I'm curious to know what Fred had, what else he could have done. I think he was playing, very well. It just happened to be that the Crescendo Reverberate and Light Swordsman took a lot of punches, and he didn't have that other Fate Reflection. If he has the second one, I don't know. Cool. So we're very evened up now. 8 and 11 life remaining between the Aerodel and the Rin. Going into round 4. I guess round 1 technically doesn't count because it was very quick pass. But we've got Fred playing a Dweller. Is he going to Ice Buff it? Yes, he does. Does not allow Fritz to get the easy pressure, easy guard pressure. He rolled a tad, I guess, unfortunate. But we'll see. So let's check out the discards on Fritz's side. He has lost 2 Sonics, 2 Reverbs, and 2 Twilights, and a Herder. Down to 6 cards. He has got to push through. Cerulean for the Frog Ping. We have not seen Cerulean really swing yet, or maybe it swung once, but it's not doing all that much. But yeah, Fritz is he's low on deck a little bit. He's got enough for another round, and I don't really think it's gonna go there. Fred is actually, I mean, he's down 16 minutes. That's still tons of time, but interesting that he spent 4 more minutes thinking through. Whoa, I just missed that. Cerulean Diver swings, and then Rejuvenate. Alrighty. Pop, pop, pop. Oh, sorry. It was Cerulean Diver comes into play, and then Rejuvenate. That's the big boy. So all the Rejuvenates are gone, but so is Fred's board for the cheap price of 1. All right. So now he gets his swing in, draws a card, punches for 1, and Fred is up. He can now play Adeptodon if he wants, but not really getting the value that you want. And if there's still another Light Swordsman out there, that is unfortunate because you would have to guard it, and it would not be ideal. This is where not having that Turtle Guard book has prevented him from carrying over advantage. If I was Fritz right now, is probably the time to play Prowler. Next, like even if it's Adaptodon, because Fred is not showing, like, even if you play Shattering Fist, not really that big of a deal. And Cerulean will still be able to pressure. He's still got Lion. He's still got Water Blast. He's not showing the time dice for Fate Reflection. So there's a lot that can still be done. You want to say hi to people?
Hi.
There you go. And Coco was watching too?
What?
Yeah. Yes, buddy. Oh, he's watching me on the phone. It's going to provide some feedback. You're watching me, watching you. Yeah.
Daddy.
I know. Very cool. Oh, he's watching me on the phone. Oh, there we go. Okay, I gotta keep commentating. Okay. All right, sorry about that. So, Raptor Herder came down, Adeptodon came down. What happened? Was it water blasted? Sorry, I missed that play here. Adeptodon kills Raptor Herder, and yeah, Airedale water blast the Adeptodon. Okay, so now Lion's down, Hatchling's down, and he's still got a diver. Um, Not sure what Fred has. Hopefully, he's got another fester or something like that to be able to remove this lion. Otherwise, this lion is now starting to gain value. He probably isn't going to lose it this round, which means it'll carry over. Fritz has top of next round. So all he has to do is in the realm of 5 damage and clear the board, and he can win it top round. Old Salt's coming down, killing off that hatchling, probably. I'm assuming. Yeah, there it goes. All right, but still, Lion easily threatens the Old Salt. Not much to do. And even oh, okay, curious. I was gonna say he could just play Diver and Frogping. I would have just, you know, immediately take it out and not have to worry. He's potentially gonna take 2 back. Um, I mean, he could still cerulean and swing. There's lots of options. It just means that he's actually going to take 2 damage instead of having sort of the easy road. I would have probably played that a little bit more patient, but he obviously wanted to pull guard. Um, so Fire Archer's coming down. It's a little bit burned. Now he's only on Fred's on 3 nature dice. Fritz is still got, he can't summon the Prowler, but he's still got Diver and Rejuvenate, and then 2 dice, maybe another Herder. There's no, could be an Undaunted, could be Clashing Tempers, if he's running like 3 of any of those. Lots of stuff that he can do. So I'll be curious. He could also like Nature's Wrath. Um, Not that that would be great for him because then he's clearing his own board, but he's got a lot of options. Good Clashing Tempers, Rejuvenate to remove the exhaustion from line. Okay, so he's just gonna. Oh, and he's getting rid of the book. I mean, he is down to 4 cards. He knows what they are. Obviously, that's part of his game plan. I'm curious to know whether he has any Sympathy Pain to help close out the game. Fred plays his own Clashing Tempers. This is going to buff the Fire Archer, kill off the Diver. No, actually, I wouldn't do that. I would ping the Lion because yeah, and then you could. There you go. You can swing and threaten it, and the Ice Adaptation prevents the Old Salt from dying too easily. So the line is going to get cleaned up between the Frog Ping and the Old Salt, unless Fritz can. Oh, Scald. Oh, all right. So you had a Hunter Master in hand. Uh, Ice Trap. Okay, Ice Trap killed the Scald. Still, yeah, Shadow. That's what I would have done. Definitely summoning the Diver and ping, or just summoning the Diver is an option. But the Scald. Oh, so good. That was well worth it. And now the Lion. Wow, that was very good. That was very very good. Lion cleans up the Archer, gets the overkill damage. He's down to 5 life. Fred's down to 7. But Fritz has got top of round. If he's got a light swordsman, that's 2, 4. That's 5. And then that's within, in theory, sympathy pain range. He is out of his deck, so he's got it. I mean, both of them have to end it this round, in theory. I don't think Fred's going to be able to control all that much. He's just going to take the simple shot, though. Just a small little punch. Just, just a little tappy, little tapperoo. Speaking of tap tap tapperoo, I don't know if any of you guys have seen the trailer for Happy Gilmore 2. I want it to be good, but it looks awful. So it's probably something that best remains as unoriginal and in nostalgia. All right, what are you doing, Fred? He's got 10 minutes left, plenty of time to think through his actions. I'm assuming he does something like play Ruin Dweller, which at the very least puts pressure on Lion, and threatens one more damage. He can still recur a Fire Archer, so Fritz has got to be considering he is at 3 life, which, you know, ever since the gold errata, you don't really have to worry too much about getting down to 3 unless you're against Jessa. Yeah, Fritz got a lot of options. So he's gonna get rid of Rejuvenate from his hand. Oh, he's playing 2 Rejuvenates. Okay, okay. Root Armor Dweller is going to be a trick, but ooh, I mean, if he swings and he loses the Huntmaster, still counter swings for 3. I don't know. This is dangerous both ways. But if you don't do anything, you're in trouble. Don't think he's going to want a Shattering Fist the Root Armor. So really, it's probably something like Adapted on that. He got screwed on his dice, but he's got tons. He's got 5 cards left, so he's fine. He's gonna probably play. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Whoa, he's really going for it. Oh, he's going all in on nature, all in on ceremonial. He's posturing for the end. Plays Nature's Wrath. All right. Okay. Huntmaster, beef the Emperor Lion, and swing forces the Ruin Dweller guard. Right? Because, or I mean, a light swordsman swing. Otherwise, it would, in theory, be game. So, very curious to see what happens here. Yeah, just a light swordsman swing. Actually, that's threatening 6. So, Dweller has to guard something. Probably kills off the Huntmaster. Or the Lion. I mean, it could go both ways. You could, either way, you're fine. The Rejuvenate can't work on the Huntmaster, so you probably kill off the Lion? No, because then I don't know, you might want to just lock him out of the option of a second Lion, which would in theory be 3 attacks. So you kill off the Huntmaster, but then the overkill damage, that's at least 2 more damage, which would be enough. Oof. Very, very tricky. I think you block the Lion. Force Fritz to try and like have to spend the 3 dice. And then he still has to face down Adapted on. This is very close, guys. This is awesome. 5 life on Aradel, 6 life on Fred. If Aradel even gets Well, she's got only 4 cards left in hand. So if 4 damage is dealt, um, Fritz will die to fatigue. Fred, I mean, unless he spends any more cards, he can afford taking any amount of damage and not dying to fatigue. But if he spends one more card, c'est la vie. And in fact, Fritz can't even go down to. He can't go down 3 damage because Fred can easily recur a Fire Archer, which puts him at 4. Fatigue would put him at 3. So yeah, he cannot take 3 damage, and that puts him in a bit of a predicament. Okay, plays Sonic. All right. Big aggressive move. So Lion, the second line is out of the picture, but at least that gives him a card that he can pitch for any more meditations he might need. He still has enough for 2 divers, which will be his ping. In theory, he could do a divine buff. He could have the third light swordsman, I think. Let me just check. There's one. Yeah, he could have that. He could have a second Scald. I don't know. Probably not. Maybe another Twilight Alchemist or second Undaunted. Not really sure. Not really sure what Fritz is on here. An adrenaline rush. Now that would be a little bit of spice. Swing for game. Fred puts something down. Swing again with the Sonic. That'd be a little spice. And then you could double exhaust the Ruin Dweller so that you don't take the damage. It's a bit of spice. I don't know if I think you value perhaps the Cerulean Diver pings a little bit more and just the extra bodies. But yeah, this is very tricky. So Fritz is really in the tank here. He was like 6 or 7 minutes ahead. Oh, sorry, Fred's in the tank. He played the Sonic, right? Fred's in the tank. He's almost spent like 3 minutes here thinking. He's really doing the math. Okay. He recurs a Hammer Knight. Huh. Hmm. Interesting. Makes me think he has Shattering Fist, which he would use to kill off the Emperor Lion and then swing the Dweller at the Huntmaster. And the Sonic and Hammer Knight, they're sort of at a little bit of a standoff. But if I'm Fritz, I want to swing sooner than later to try and get rid of this Hammer Knight because of the ice buff. So swinging for 4, Fred can't take 4, I don't think. Or I don't think he wants to. Maybe he's crazy enough to do it if he's got a game plan. But if you play Shattering Fist, then you don't have an Adaptodon. So I don't know. All right. Fred, I guess he has faith in whatever his plan is. I don't know if I like that recur. I know it. The Sonic definitely put kink in any potential plans, and he needs to be able to threaten 3 damage to win fatigue. Well, now he needs. No, it's still 3 because Fritz used a card. But that was risky. Because he can't. Oh, jeez, he's got to win. I forget. Someone remind me. Shadow. Who takes fatigue damage first? Is it the active player? Because if that's the case, Fred loses. Fred meditates and passes. Huh? It's a game. Yeah. Okay. It was like the overkill damage. Wow. What a game. Very cool. Well played, Fritz. That Blitzy Fritzy. Wow. Forgot about, yeah, the overkill. Yeah. Uh Water blasts overkill. There you go. That was very cool. That was very interesting game. That was a big swing back from Fritz's side, considering um, what I thought was pretty solid round 2 for Fred. I did not like the pass with the 2 books versus 4, uh, but yeah, that was very cool. Turtle Guard, I think, would have been a pretty good help in this matchup, just to sort of gain some of that round over round value. Um, but that Scald play, oof, that Scald play was really nice. The crescendo play was also very nice. Um, yeah, this was a cool game. Someone's got to rewatch it, commentate, see what I missed. But you know what? That's all I've got for you guys tonight. I'm really hoping that somebody asks me to do some more games. But if not, AIL is, like I said, currently going on. And we've got Swiss rounds for another, I don't know, 2 weeks. And then we'll have playoffs. So those will be streamed, as well as the finals. And hoping another tournament pops up. Somebody take the initiative. We've got all kinds of potential formats to run, and you know what? We have not had an open tournament. We haven't had a teams tournament. We haven't had any of the funky tournaments like Carousel or Koloff or Red Rains Precon. It's not Halloween or Christmas, so we can't, we're not doing those. We didn't have the Valentine's Day one. So yeah, you know what? Somebody's got to run something. But until next time, as always, if you're not janky, you're stanky. Frog up, wolf down. We'll see ya.